Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayh. Wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam tabaraka wa sallama tasliman kasiran kasira amma ba'd. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa man ahsanu qawlan mimman da'a ila Allah wa amila salih wa qala innani minal muslimin. My dear brothers and respected elders and sisters, Islam means submission, peace, submission to the will of Allah. Islam means peace. Peace is to those who submit to the will of Allah. There is no peace to those who does not submit their desire to the desire of Allah. So, Islam means peace. It means peace to those who submit to the wills of Allah. There will be no peace to those who doesn't submit to the will of Allah. And those who submit to the will of Allah are called Muslim. So the whole world, the whole world desire to have a world of peace. Everyone is talking about a better world than today. Tomorrow, a better world than yesterday, but it doesn't work. The desire has never been achieved. Everyone is talking, the world should be, at peace. It should be more peaceful than yesterday. Tomorrow, more peaceful than today. Each and entire man who live in this world live with peace. Means without having any problem, any trouble, without having any anguish, hatred. But everybody is living with peace and love, tranquility. And every one of the entire man can desire to have such a life, but it has never come since the dawn of the man. Since the dawn of the man, Allah has sent Prophet Adam and his wife Eve or Hawa to this world. Not long after they have come down to the earth, there is already treachery happened in this world. One of his sons killed the other son of his, Prophet Adam, just because of woman. The younger brother wants to marry the woman who has been the other sister of theirs, who has been assigned to marry the other brother, but the younger brother wants to marry that sister of his, so he killed his other brother. So the world is already not at peace, even at the time of Adam. So since then until today, the world has never been at peace. So Allah sent the religion of Islam, which means peace. But it's only the world will only be at peace when the people become Muslim, submit their will to the wills of Allah, to the desire of Allah, not to their desires. But all this while, men are not willing to submit to the desire of Allah, but submit to the desire of the devils. to their own desire. Their own desire means the desire of the devils, who has swear to Allah that he will become the enemy of Adam and his entire descendants, so that he will be able to deviate them from the true path of Islam, become deviated and having treacherous life in this world, as well as, a life of tragedy in the hereafter. So, as a community of human beings, we are actually enemy to Shaitan, to the devils. He has taken out our forefathers, Adam and Eve, away from them, paradise. That he has done the work that make our forefathers, Adam and Eve, to be taken out from paradise. And we should not make him. We should not make the devil as our friends or as our companion, as our advisor. We should make them as the Shaitan, as our enemies. Because why we don't make Shaitan as our enemy? Because we don't see Shaitan. It's invisible enemies. The same as coronavirus, which are infecting the whole entire world nowadays, is actually the enemy of the entire mankind. But it is, since it is invisible, people not willing to fight. The SOP, Standard Operation Procedure, which has been given, is for us to attack, to prevent ourselves from being attacked by our enemy, unseen enemy, the invisible enemy, coronavirus 19. Many people are not willing to follow the SOP. They still gathered, in large numbers, making procession in the names of religious function. The people of Tabligh Jamaat still eager to go out in groups, commute with one another. So unwilling, because they are not aware that they are actually having enemies attacking them. So if they are not aware of your enemies, then your enemies surely will overtake you. Like in India, then they are not aware that they are enemies. They are just, thinking there is no COVID-19, and they doesn't follow the SOP, or they simply ignore it. So as a result, the enemies attack them tremendously, painfully. Now you can see. So all other countries who are not aware that they are at war with the virus will certainly succumb to the attacks. So similarly, the Iblis, the devils, are invisible enemies. And we are not aware that the devils are attacking us at all times. And yet, instead of preventing ourselves from being attacked, and instead of attacking them, we are embracing them. We're making them our friends, our companions, our advisors. We take them with us in our prayer. That make us unable to remember Allah, but to remember other than Allah. So how good we are to take our enemies as friends. They are the devils are the ones that have taken our forefathers away from out of paradise. Allah says to Adam, this Iblis is your enemy. He will take you. Don't let him take you out from paradise. Allah told. But our forefathers, unfortunately, Adam and Eve disobeyed Allah's orders, and for that very reason, he has to be taken up from paradise. And shouldn't we make devils as our enemies or our friends? Huh? Enemies or friends? Should be our enemies, and we should be aware, and we should not be at all time. How are we going to protect ourselves from the shaitan? Do we know? Do the whole world people knows, in terms of COVID-19, they were thinking of manufacturing vaccine in order to protect them, isn't it? But somehow or other, well, it works or it may works. A lot of vaccines being manufactured to counter attacks from the infection. That's all we have. But we must do other things besides vaccine, not only taking vaccine. There are also other ways other than vaccine to increase our immunity. It's not only vaccine. To have good foods, to do exercise, to take fresh vegetables, are all means to increase our immunity. To take echinacea, to take probiotics. All are supplements which are to improve our immunity too. Why should we only use vaccine? Vaccine is also to increase our immunity, but it works on some, doesn't work on some other people. So everyone should have a choice to take vaccine or to do other things. But the immunity of the person has to be increased so that they protect themselves from the infection of COVID-19 or from other virus or germs, for that matter. When our immunity are poor, India at one time the attacks of COVID-19 has decreases, so they thought that India has become, India is successful in counter attack the virus. They say maybe India have immunity and so on, but then a bigger strain, a more dangerous strain has been produced. Then the immunity which the people are having are not sufficient to counter attack the virus, and so they got a tsunami of COVID-19 infection. It does happen to all other countries. You have to build the immunity of the people, not to let them to wait for the vaccine only. There are many ways to increase the virus, even the natural ways. Why we should not use the natural ways rather than chemical ways to increase our immunity? We should, There is not only drugs. We have actually natural means to increase our immunity. We should take a lot of herbs that increase our immunity. That is more safer to some people rather than vaccine. But I'm just proposing my scientific experience, medical experience. Many things works even with herbs, not necessarily with drugs. Drugs may work on something, may not work on some other people. So we either be advised to use drug or non-drugs. But the essence of the work is to increase our immunity, to counter-attack and to counter the attacks of virus, COVID-19. And once our immunities are strong, then we not only we are safe from the attack of COVID-19, but from all other germs and viruses, from all other infectious diseases as well as non-infectious diseases. All this while we are not taking care of our immunity. We simply eat junk food, McDonald's, KFC. I'm not saying you shouldn't eat this food, but you should not eat it as your main staple food. You have junk food. So they are devoid of vegetables, fruits, which contain minerals, important for our immune system. We must take more fresh fruits and vegetables rather than meat. We should eat more fish. We should do more exercise. And we should increase our immunity by taking herbs such as echinacea. I'm not only saying that is not only herb. There are many other herbs. And also probiotic to improve our bowel system, so that we have more defecations. We have more better bowel movement. In a day, we should defecate at least once, 2, 3 times a day, if we are eating 3 times a day. But many people are suffering from, not able to have a good bowel movement. What is called constipations. It's a common disease, which they think is okay. It's not okay. If you have a constipation, you don't have a good bowel movement, then you have toxins. Toxin, instead of being driven out from the body through the bowel, it goes into the blood. And the toxin will, make your immune system to be weak, to become weaker. If you don't eat enough fresh vegetables, fruits, and so on, keep on drinking, smoking, eating meat, smoking, drinking, then how you can get a good immune system? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered us to eat good food. Good food means the one that have no toxins, which are not poisonous. That's all the animals and the fish, such as the fish, the prawns, which are in the oceans, in the sea, are permitted to eat without having to slaughter them in the name of Allah, because they are clean and pure. So we should eat more fish rather than more meat. Understand? We love meat so much, and especially pigs, bacon and eggs. Bacon. Allah have forbidden us from taking pigs. Pig is what? Pig meats. But we love it. Why is we are forbidden? Because Allah knows better as to why we are not allowed. If it is good, surely we will be allowed to eat. But I do not know the reason why. But certainly, when Allah has forbidden it from taking pig's meat and then pork, naturally it will not be good for us, not be good for our immune system. So all the while we disobeyed Allah, we do not follow His orders, we do not do according to His desire, we doesn't submit to His will, but submit to our own desire. As a result, we have no peace. We have no Islam, no peace. We have troubles. Coronavirus is already in this world for more than 100 years. But we are still today, we don't have the vaccine. Even the virus has been isolated, and people knows, that we can combat against virus, but the pharmaceutical company simply do not want to release that knowledge. They want people to die so that they can sell their drugs. Because everyone in this world only love money, do not love to see men are healthy. So even though there are already knowledge on how to counterattack this virus, but vaccines are not made. Only when people start to talk about it, then they start making research and then producing the vaccine and then charging people with a lot of money, just simply to make themselves rich. Many people in the pharmaceutical company, they are not sincere people, they are not God-fearing people, they are devils. Not only in pharmaceutical company, in all company, drugs. Just they want people to become sick. You understand? There's no one in this world who want people to become healthy, especially those in the pharmaceutical company. They want people to become sick so that they can sell their drugs. And they don't make their drugs to be able to cure you, just to relieve you from the pains. But the germ, the thing's still there, so that you continue taking their drugs until you die. All these pharmaceutical companies are devils actually, are great devils. They are just wishing to become rich. Who on this world who doesn't want to become rich? Not only in the pharmaceutical company, even the lawyers, the doctors, the scientists, they will keep hidden secrets. They don't want to reveal the truth. Why? So that people will not get healthy. They encourage people to eat wrong food. To produce foods which are dangerous to human health, so that people get sick, so that people use their drugs, so that people will continue buying. You think all the drugs are meant to make you healthy? No. Healthy is not the drugs. Drugs not at all making you healthy. You're taking the drugs for your diabetic, hypertension. It doesn't make your hypertension and diabetic get cured. It persists with you until you die, so that you continue buying the drugs, so that they become richer and richer and richer. And that's all they want. They love money more than anything else, because they don't submit to the will of Allah. They submit to the will of their own desire to become rich. That's why they make drugs, they make wrong food. And we ourselves are not submitting to the will of Allah, so we follow suit to their needs. We also eat wrong food. We only take drugs. We don't eat good food which Allah have ordered us to eat. What is good food? The non-poisonous one. They are mainly the green vegetable, the fruits. That's why Allah mentioned in paradise only about fruits, banana, about dates, and Allah mentions about, that's about all I think which Allah has mentioned in paradise, fruits. So we must eat fruits more, but we don't. Never eat fruits. Only McDonald's, KFC all the day long, like Anzala, From day one, when he's born till now, only taking this type of food. Now he has very bad constipation. It takes hours to defecate. He went to the toilet, just take long time. At the age of 25, has a severe constipation. You see what happened to his blood? Toxemia, poor immunity, easily infected. So not only we doesn't submit ourselves to the will of Allah, that we should pray, we should do the work of dawah. Even to eat food, we don't obey Allah. To eat good food, we don't obey Allah. We are not willing to submit. We eat all type of foods as we like the Chinese. The Chinese is one of the race. There are many races in the world, but the races which are noted to love food so much that they make everything become food, either poisonous or not poisonous, either good or not good. You name it. What are the animal which Chinese do not eat? You can see the bazaar in Wuhan. There's a bazaar for poisonous animals, snakes, bats, all sorts of animals become food. Aduh. And there are some people in Africa too, drink blood, taking poisonous food, poisonous animals as their food. All these are spreading germs and viruses to the entire human race. So our human race should be one race. Our enemies are all the germs, the bacteria, as well as the shaitan and the devils. If you don't taking good care of our food, exercise, and all that, then the germs is our main enemy. If we don't obey Allah, we don't recite the kalima, we don't do the work of inviting people to Allah, we're not doing prayer, then the devils are our enemies. So we are surrounded with enemies that will affect our physical body, and the other one, our spiritual body, our spiritual part, our soul, you know. The enemies of our soul is the devil, the shaitan. And how the shaitan destroy us? They ask us, invite us to do the evil works. The devil will say, this is good for you. The devil will say, the evil works is good for you. That's the work of the devils, the shaitan, is to let the man to see the wrong thing to be right, the bad thing to be good, so that man will follow him, his invitation. So all evil deeds. So as a result of doing evil deeds, following the shaitan, their souls are corrupted. Their actions become devilish. Their body, because they are not protecting, they are not taking good food like fruits and vegetables, and so the virus, germs, bacteria become their enemies. Now we are facing enemies everywhere. Either we realize it or not. The germ, the virus, the bacteria are our enemies, as well as the shaitan and the devil. Both are invisible, and we are moving here and there with suffering, pain and sorrow. You know, now what happened? We are not happy with our enemies, COVID-19 attacking us, but some are not aware that we are having enemies. All the while we are having enemies. Not that at any time of our life in this world we are free. We are being attacked by the germ, virus, and on the bacteria, as well as the devils. They are both invisible. So we must be prepared to follow Allah's orders. Allah's only one who knows how to safeguard ourselves from our enemies. We follow Allah's orders even to the food that we eat. We shouldn't eat anything that we like, because to eat wrong food will be bad for our bowels. Will make our bowel unhealthy. More germs, bad germs will be in our bowels if we eat wrong foods. If we cook highly cooked food, you know, with oil and all this, they are making the good bacteria to die and more bad bacteria to flourish. It makes we become constipating people. We have become constipated. We cannot perform good bowel movement. We will have toxemia in our blood. Our immunity will reduce, so that germs will be able to attack us. Virus will be able to attack, and the devils ask us to do evil deeds. The other one asking us, we don't eat good food. Our body become weak and sick. When we don't follow the orders of Allah, not on food, on other things, we don't recite the kalima, we don't do the work of inviting people to Allah, we don't pray, then our souls are corrupted. So our soul are corrupted, our body is corrupted. What happened? Our mind is surely will be corrupted. So we become very unhealthy. The result of our unhealthiness is simply because we don't follow Allah, that's all. So we don't follow and obey Allah in total. You know. Some people only follow Allah on orders which they like, but they don't want to follow orders which to their dislike. That's not the way how to follow Allah. Allah says, "Fi silmi kafa." You enter Islam in total, in all ways of your life. You don't only follow in one way, disfollow, unfollow the other way. That's not the way. We have to submit our complete desire to the desire of Allah, and that is called Muslim. A person who Muslim will practice Islam, the orders of Allah. They will have peace and tranquility in this world as well as in the hereafter. This is what it's all about love, peace, tranquility, happiness. And it goes with Islam. And we will able to adopt Islam as a way of our life when our soul are willing to submit. Our desires are willing to submit only to the desires of Allah. Complete submission. That is Islam. Waqala innani minal muslimin. People always talk about Islam, peace, peace, but you can't obtain that peace if you are not Muslim. If you don't make Islam as your way of life, you don't make Islam as a way, a complete way that govern you in all aspects of your life. In the way you eat, in the way you drink, in the way you sleep, in the way you have to worship Allah, you have to do the work of dawah, you have to fast in the month of Ramadan. You know, it's all for health, fasting, go for Hajj. All these orders of Allah is to make our soul, mind, and body to be at peace. You know, with tranquility and happiness. This is all why Allah has created us to become successful, to have peace and happiness in this world and hereafter. But we are the one who choose. We are the one who have chosen the wrong path, and none to be blamed, not our creator, but ourselves. Because we are so fond of choosing the wrong way. Because the wrong way give us sort of, what do you call it? It gives us some sort of pleasure. We love pleasure than truth. We love pleasure. We don't love the truth. We love the pleasure. That's why we go on the wrong thing. That's why we disobey Allah. That's why we eat the wrong food. Because we want pleasure. And the shaitan, our enemies, is pushing us to have our life in this world full of pleasure. The shaitan won't say that you take pleasure, you'll be, you'll be harm for you. The shaitan never say that. Take pleasure, more pleasure, pleasure. Forget about akhirah, forget about that. Have pleasure. If you don't have a wife, visit the prostitute. Have pleasure. Do all the devil things. You eat pork. Eat the unslaughtered halal, non-halal meat. Don't eat vegetable, don't eat fruits. Drinks alcohol, smokes. And then don't pray, don't recite the kalima. Don't do the work of dawah. Then the whole life in the world will be pleasure, but at the end, very unpleasurable. At the end of the day, if you follow this lifestyle, you'll become sick. You think a sick person having pleasure? No. You will get syphilis, you may get HIV, you may get all sorts of disease, as well as your souls are having at all, no anxiety, stress. Then you say, oh, what is the use of living in this world? No pleasure. Of course you don't have pleasure at the end. In the beginning you have pleasure, but as a result of pursuing the life of pleasure, at the end is the unpleasurable life. Very unpleasurable life. Pain and sorrow. In the grave, in the mahshar, and in the hellfire. Don't make the wrong choice. This is all because of our stubbornness. Unwilling to obey our Creator, who have created us, who knows very well, not very well, very, very well on how we'll become healthy. So our soul become healthy, our mind become healthy, our body become healthy. We will become happy in this world and hereafter. There is no easy way but to become obedient. Now our disobedience has made everything haywire. Just become obedient. Don't become disobedient. Servant of Allah. Become obedient. accept Him as your creator. You cannot exist in this world if you are not created by Him. Who created you? You tell me. Your mother? Your father? No. All of us are created by Allah. And Allah is the one who knows as to how we'll become successful, having to have happiness in this world and the after. He is the only one who knows. So obey Him, follow Him to the minute details in the way which He loves, with the intention to please Him. Surely we will not regret living in this world when we will enter the paradise and safe from the hellfire.